Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. Cam Skattebo, he's one of the best players in college football. I honestly think he should have been invited to the Heisman Trophy ceremony. With that being said, I'm kind of surprised by what he said before our game, the game he has with Texas. My Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em horns. He said, "Oh, I've had 13 games. Nobody can stop me," and all this other stuff. Look, my thing is, that's true. Nobody has stopped him in 13 games. That is very true. And while that's true, his team has also lost to a 5-win Cincinnati team. So I don't know where he's coming from with all that. I mean, he hasn't played anybody. Just like Boise State, we saw what happened to Boise State tonight. Boise State, a good team, obviously, but when they had a chance to play a team with some good athletes and some size on them, and some speed and strength and depth, didn't work too well. Not to mention Boise State hurt themselves. Not to say that Arizona State will. I just don't think one player is going to be enough to beat Texas. And now he's ran his mouth. So he's basically saying he said nobody can stop me. That means he don't think Texas can either. The problem with that is Texas has a lot of good athletes. They recruit really good, and not just one pop year with good recruiting like Texas A&M had that one year with Jimbo Fisher. They've had top tier classes since Sarkisian has been there, so they're loaded with depth. Which means if somebody were to be out, get knocked out the game with Texas, if Texas had a player get knocked out the game, somebody would jump in and fill in those shoes really nicely. Now, I will admit our secondary is clearly not very good. What's his name? Cade Klubnik exposed that pretty badly. Clemson had not really looked good against anybody all year. Now, their defense, obviously, that's a whole nother mess to talk about. And I'm not going to do that because I respect Clemson. But their offense, their passing game had never looked that good, partially because they don't play anybody either outside of us in South Carolina. But they did expose our secondary pretty bad. So the thing is, if Skattebo can be involved in the receiving game and catch a lot of passes over us, which is very possible, then I guess he'd be right. Nobody can stop him. But if he thinks he's just going to run the football and do what he wants with us, that's not happening. I don't see that happening. You're not Georgia, Arizona State. So I'm not really trash talking, but I thought it was a little ridiculous with him making the comments he made, knowing that Arizona State has not played anybody all year, and they're not even undefeated. Well, we aren't either. So it is what it is. But keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. Just because Texas cannot beat Georgia this year does not mean they can't beat everybody else. Think about Georgia. They could beat everybody else except someone who's named Alabama for some reason. And Alabama's not better than Georgia. But Georgia is better than Texas. I don't think I made much sense there. Ryan Day can beat anybody except Michigan. You get where I'm going with this? So just because we can't beat we can't beat Georgia, thinking about Georgia and messed up my head now. So that's probably why Texas can't beat them. But that's besides the point. Texas is not losing this game. I think they make him pay for his comments tomorrow.